saying, I got a cousin just came up from down south. Up here we call it came from behind the cotton curtain. She's only been in town a couple of days, but she got a job as soon as she got in. She came home the other day looking like a cyclone had hit her. I asked her, I said, what happened? She said, I'm working out at the hotel, and I was supposed to wake up a trombone player at 9:30, and I couldn't get in the room. He wouldn't wake up, so I took the key and went inside. I said, you went inside? I said, don't you know better than to go in the musician's room? She said, I didn't, but I do now. There was a couple, they had been married exactly 9 months. The wife was rushed to the hospital. She was expecting the phone from heaven. And not long after she arrived at the hospital, the doctor walked over to the husband, who had been walking back and forth, smoking and everything, trying to wait his time out. And the doctor offered him congratulations, my good man. You're the father of a 7-pound baby boy. The father raised his sleeve and took a peek at his watch. He says, isn't that remarkable? It's exactly 9 o'clock. Ain't nature the end? A few minutes later, the doctor came out and told the new daddy that his wife had just presented him with a baby girl. Congratulating. Again, the father looked at his watch and said, well, I'll be doggone 9:30. I said, ain't nature the end? And he said, Doc, I'll be back in a little while. Doc said, hey, wait a minute, where you going? Husband said, I'm only going down here for a little walk. He said, it isn't another one due till around 10:30. It was during the war, and it happened that they all were shipwrecked on the same island together. And so one of the fellows said, we might as well be friendly and get acquainted. We got to live here. There's no way off the island. One guy said, well, my name is John, and I ain't no Baptist. Second guy said, well, that's what you said. Well, my name is Peter, and I ain't no saint. And there was one girl along. She said, well, my name is Mary, and I ain't no virgin. Sometimes you pick up the paper, and the headlines read, husband shoots wife's lover, and all that kind of stuff, But there's some guys who are just broad-minded, things like that don't bother them. I knew a guy named Joe. He was a farmer down in Tennessee. He came home one night and caught the farm hand kissing his wife, but he didn't flip his cookie. The hired hand packed his bag and was leaving when the farmer called and said, come over here, George, and live with me. He said, look, you don't have to leave. Put your bags back in the bunkhouse. You're my best friend. And if you and me can't love her enough, we'll hire somebody for weekends. I checked in the hotel in Cleveland, when I was on my way to New York a couple of months. And I was tidying up the hotel a little bit and just got together and put the bags away. I heard a commotion next door. The walls were thin, and this girl was saying, stop it. Stop it now. I said, stop it. I'm not going to tell you no more now. Stop it. Stop it. I told you to stop it. She said, all right, if you don't shut up, I will. Guy walked in the drugstore on Franklin Avenue in St. Louis. That's where I'm from, St. Louis. I always miss St. Louis, A lot of people that owe money. No, this was during the war, and this guy walked in the drugstore and asked for a 10-cent pack of cigarettes. And the clerk said, I'm sorry, sir, we don't carry no brand for 10 cents, because we found out those kind of cigarettes are made out of sawdust and manure. So this guy left and went across the street to another drugstore, and the clerk walked to him. He said, what's wrong with those people across the street? And he said, I went over there to get me a 10-cent pack of cigarettes, and he told me that they half sawdust and half manure. The clerk said, all those guys over there are crazy. There ain't no sawdust in them cigarettes. Yeah, guy's wife told him, said, I got an awful hangover. He said, yeah, I know. I'm going to get you one of them new Baziers in the morning. Young bride, she was so dumb, she called her mother on the phone and said, Mother, would you come over tonight? Lamont said he was going to shoot some crap, but I don't know how to cook them. I know you read about the woman who chased her husband in church with a brick and caught him by the organ. My dad was a street cleaner here in town. He got fired last week for daydreaming. Told him he couldn't keep his mind in the gutter. Our scientists have discovered 2 new drugs that are the best in the world for birth control. One of them is called No Acetone. The other one is called Suffer Denial. And here's the shortest of short stories. There were two bananas living in an old maid's home, and one was a big banana, and the other was a little banana. And the big banana said to the little banana, "Too bad, they're going to eat you." Say, now we have a little quiz, Does anyone here know why a girl wears a sweater? Actually, there are three reasons. One is to keep her warm. You want to take a bite on the other two? In different countries, they have whoops. They call them, a guy that, you see a pretty girl on it. Well, they have whoops all over. I was down in Mexico, and I saw one of those Mexican whoops. He was standing on the corner with his tamale wagon. A couple that had met one night, they were sitting in the bar. And the guy said, "Baby, one more martini and I'll be still." She said, "Yeah, one more and I'll be tight." They had one more martini. They had one more martini between them and went upstairs in the hotel to find out that he was tight and she was still. A drunk walked in the red carpet the other night. He was hanging over the bar. He said, "It's ridiculous. I can't even believe it. It's so ridiculous. In fact, it's terrible. Can you imagine that? The cost of living was going up to 95 cents a shot." And I just found out something else that you might want to know. I found out the difference in love and like. You see, if a girl likes you, she lets you. But if she loves you, she helps you. I was riding the subway, and I'm here to tell you that it was crowded, just like they say in New York. It was crowded as I ever seen subway. Two girls on the subway, and one asked the other, "Is the guy behind me good looking?" A girlfriend said, "No, but he's young." A girlfriend said, I know that." A friend of mine, he didn't have a wife or anything, so he decided to reform from some of his habits. First month, he cut out smoking. This was all right. And the second month, he cut out drinking. And the third month, he cut out women. And 4 weeks after he cut out women, he was cutting out paper dolls. It was a big fat lady. She got on the bus with a big dog, and the driver said, "Miss, you can't get on no bus with no dog." This big lady said, "Well, you know what you can do with your old bus." He said, "Yeah, and if you can do the same with your dog, you can ride my bus." And one was in the bank yesterday. What was yesterday? This bank open Saturday. I don't know. I haven't been down lately. Well, let's just say it's Friday for authenticity. No, but she walked in the bank and she gave the clerk a $50 bill for deposit. And the clerk said, "Well, I'm sorry, we can't accept this bill. It's counterfeit." This girl said, "Oh my God, I've been raped." The bartender noticed two girls always would come in this bar and leave with one or two of the customers every night. And one night the bartender asked the girl, "Hey, don't y'all never have no babies?" And the girl said, "Hell yeah, where you think bartenders come from?" There's a girl living in my building. I just want to tell you this is fact. No, she lives in my building. She gets all her work done, Chinese laundry. And she called the Chinese laundry, the fellow right down there on Jefferson, Lam Kwong. And she called, she said, "Lam Kwong, said, would you please bring my laundry right away? Lickety split." And Lam Kwong said, "Very, very good. Me bring laundry right away, but no lickety split." So, a lot of you drink here. A lot of you drink here, and I just want to give you my reaction to a guy that drinks. Say he's one of those kind of alcoholics that hides his liquor and everything, and I'll be him. Just say, for instance, my wife found 12 bottles of whiskey I had hid in the closet, and I insisted I was to empty the contents of every bottle and pour it down the sink. I withdrew the cork from the first bottle and poured the whiskey down the sink, with the exception of one glass, which I drank. I extracted the cork from the second bottle and did likewise, with the exception of one glass, which I drank. Then I withdrew the cork from the third bottle and emptied the good old booze down the sink, with the exception of one glass, which I drank. I pulled the cork from the fourth sink and poured the bottle down the glass, which I drank. I pulled the bottle from the cork on the next bottle and drank one sink of it and poured the rest down the glass. I pulled the sink out of the next glass and poured the cork down the bottle and drank the glass. Then I corked the sink with the glass. Bottle of drink, drank the pour. When I had everything emptied out, I steadied the house with one hand, counted the bottles, cork, glasses, which were 29. To be sure, I counted them again. When they came around, I had 74. And my house came again by, I counted them again, and finally I had all the houses and the bottles and the cork and glasses counted except one house and one bottle, which I drank. Well. Let me tell you about some of, we have pretty girls here in California, and you know that's a fact. If you look around. Yes. But Washington, D.C., where they make the laws and break the laws, I met her. I wouldn't say she was beautiful, and I wouldn't call her beautiful. In fact, I wouldn't call her ugly. In fact, I just wouldn't call her. I'm not saying she had buck teeth, but her nose looked like it was playing piano. I've seen some buck teeth, but she has some buck lips. She got a sort of a very unusual figure, though. You see, her stockings are straight. It's her legs that stay crooked. But I'm crazy about it. She got black hair. And one day long black hair, too. One day I was running my fingers through her hair, and she walked in the room and caught me. She's a real showgirl. Real showgirl. A combination of like Mahalia Jackson and Lena Horne. See, she dances like Mahalia and sings like Lenny Hayden. I like to mention my new composition because I think it will be heard real soon. It's a beautiful song called I'll Love You When You Don't Have a Nickel, But I Won't Be With You. Yeah, the fella got on the bus. He was drunk. He was stacking all around the bus. And the old lady said, "Young man, you're drunk. Look at you." Said, "You're going to hell." This guy said, "Well, let me get off here. This is the wrong bus." Oh, yes. I also have a crazy ballad that I wrote. It's called The Underwear Song. I wouldn't change you for the world. I was on the subway one night going to Brooklyn, and it was crowded. And this lady on the subway let out with a great big scream, "Ah!" And a little boy was standing behind and looked up at his mother and said, "I don't care. She put it in my face and I bit it." And, beside my songwriting talents, I also write plays, and I have a play that I've written especially for Lena Horne and myself. See, it starts off with me kissing Lena for 25 minutes. Then the curtain raises and the play starts. But some of you guys, have you ever thought how important it is to give your wife money? I give my wife something for spending money every week. Last week I gave her a punching eye for spending money. I'll never forget when I was courting my old lady. Her father thought I was a fish. No kidding. One night I came by the house and said, "Holy mackerel, you here again?" in closing, I'd like to say thank you very much because that's it. Grazie.